The woman was jogging by the lake as usual. She suddenly saw a figure dressed in black standing by the shore. The next second, a sharp ringing sound pierced her ears. Her husband, 200 meters behind her, experienced the same ringing. Neither of them paid it much attention, assuming it was due to a bad night's sleep. They were completely unaware that death was creeping closer. The woman kept running but noticed she seemed to have returned to the same spot she had just passed. The no swimming sign and the forest on the opposite side looked exactly the same as before. Her husband behind her experienced the same phenomenon. While running, he was suddenly bumped into by someone. He turned around, only to find that the person who bumped him had vanished. He also noticed the same trash can he had seen earlier. Out of curiosity, he approached it. The dirty water inside emitted a foul smell. He failed to notice the earbuds floating on the surface, identical to the ones his wife wore. Just then, his wife ran up behind him and brought him back to the signpost. She wondered why, after running for so long, they were back at the same spot. The man suggested that maybe the trail had two identical signs. To confirm, the couple ran forward again for a while, but no matter how far or how long they ran, they always ended up back at the same spot. Even more terrifying, there were no other paths along the way. The men considered trying to walk into the forest on the other side. However, the dense forest made him hesitant to enter recklessly. Reluctantly, he suggested they keep moving forward. It wasn't until they saw the trash can again that they realized they were truly lost. The man suggested they split up and go in different directions. If either of them found an exit, they would call the other loudly. Terrified, the two went their separate ways but ended up circling back to the same spot. It was as if they were going in circles, meeting back at the same place. The woman took out her phone to call the police. Her earbuds fell out of her pocket onto the ground. They searched for a signal for a long time but found none. The moment the man lowered his phone, the figure in black appeared again. Terrified, they turned and ran, only to find themselves back at the sign. At that moment, the woman noticed that the earbuds she had dropped had somehow multiplied into two pairs. She began to suspect it was a prank by her husband. She asked him to stop making such frightening jokes. Her husband didn't respond and instead suggested they exit through the forest. With that, they stepped into the forest. But the forest seemed like an endless loop. Even when they walked sideways, they ended up back at the lakeside. Frustrated, the woman turned back and dashed into the forest again. Yet again, she found herself back at the signpost. Both of them broke down in despair.